Welcome to BAWASHIR Electric once more. So we have been dealing with very many types of automation softwares, and that's the PLC software. So this time around, very many people have been inquiring, when everybody hears about PLC, what comes in mind is Siemens and TIA Portal and Step 7 and what have you. So today I'm just going to take you through a brief look at how Siemens is done, and throughout our series we are going to see how we deal about with TIA Portal, that's totally integrated automation, with Step 7 and Siemens PLCs. So for today I've got TIA Portal version 15.1 that we are going to use to try to go through how these Siemens gadgets are dealt with. For the Siemens TIA Portal software, you can get it from their website. It is kinda a few dollars, though they have some free trial version. And also, to have Siemens on your PC, please, you must have quite a nice PC because it takes a lot of storage and a lot of RAM. Sometimes it runs slowly, so you have to have a very nice software of at least 8 GB RAM and 120 GB HDD storage and above. And also the screen at least should have a good screen resolution. So there we go with our Siemens software. When it opens at first time, this is how it looks like, though here when you come and this is project view, these are the recent projects I've done for you, as when you open for the first time you may not see such a kind of a thing. So we are going just to go through and see how we deal with for today. I know questions will come up and we shall be posting series of tutorials according to the inquiries that come across. So regardless of these my projects, just as you see, these are the first steps. We shall have create a new project like any other software we have been dealing with. We start with a new project. So it is named the project 1. So this is the project name. You can give it any name that you feel like. This is the path actually where you're going to store your project. As for mine, it is gonna be stored on desktop. Then this is the version of the software I'm using. Then the author, my piece is just called BAWASHIR. You can add some comment about your project or what you were doing, what you're trying to come up with, or anything you can ignore. Then from there, I'm gonna leave mine like that. I'm gonna just say project 1 since it is a go through. I'm gonna say create. It takes a couple of minutes. Remember, I told you your PC should be quite well in terms of process, in terms of storage, and in terms of RAM. Or if not, you are going to deal with some stacking object, It takes a couple of seconds. So there we go. That's the next display. We are going to say here they are showing us the first steps. So here we have devices and networks, PLC programming, motion and technology, visualization, online and diagnostics. So, but there is this one start. So we are going to go with start. We are going to start with what comes first. So here we are going to first click configure a device. You should first have a device, and after having a device is when you can write a PLC program for that device. So I'm gonna double click here and I'll create a device. So here show all devices. That we don't have any device so far, so we're just gonna add a new device here. So that's what comes up. So these are controllers. These are the PLC, the CPUs and the series. This is the HMI in case you want visualization, the user interface, and this is the PC systems in case you're going to use a PC runtime. So for today we are going to select on controllers. Now controllers, you have schematics, S7, 1200, you have 1500, you have 300, 500, and the etc. So I'm just gonna select 1200, that's 1200, and here we have to be critical more so since we don't have the real PLC. We're gonna use simulation. We're gonna simulate, so we must choose a PLC CPU with the version that allows simulation. Though most of these ones they allow, what I'm gonna choose is I'm gonna have here 1215C DC DC DC. Click once. So when you click here, you are going to see version 4.2. So the PLC CPU you choose must be version 4 and above. That one supports simulation. So to create, I'm just gonna double click on it. Is it click? Okay, just can click here, add. We wait a bit. So there it comes. Now this is our CPU. This is the main CPU that we have selected. So in this CPU we have here the properties, the general properties. Yeah, but right now we're gonna not dive into much. We just have to, we need an introduction. So this is the CPU that we have selected, and now what we are going to do, since you have already chosen our PLC, you are just going to have some sample program. Before we have a program, we are going to come here to tags, and we shall have default tag table. So tag table, this one we try to describe the inputs and the outputs that we are going to use in our software. Yeah, I can give here a sample so that you see. This is my keyboard. So we are going to have here a new tag. Just gonna have here on, name that one, enter, go to the next. So here data type is boolean. Hope now by right now when I talk of boolean you know what I mean. So the addressing, we have been in other softwares, we have been using X for outputs, for inputs, Y for outputs. We have been using the P's and some other different kind of addressing. So for Siemens, and actually this is the standard addressing type. So here we have percentage I means for input, 0 means for the rack, and the 0.0 means the pin. Actually this is the addressing of the pin that we are going to use. We are going to see more so for memory exchanges, for analog inputs exchanges. So if you keep up with our series, we are going to come across all that. So our next output, actually here we are just going to have maybe something like lamp. Enter. So now this one is gonna be our output. Output we use letter Q. Yeah, then here we're gonna make it 0 since it is the first one. So just here we have one input and one output. That is an on button or input signal and a lamp output signal. So our tags are done. What we are going to do, we are going to come this way to project view, and we are going to this folder of program blocks. Then we are going to come to main. So now there main, we are looking forward to editing our first ladder logic. So yeah, so that is now the programming area. Now as you know, it is just like any other software, normally open, normally closed. This is a coil, this is the functions, and these are joints. So just gonna have here on our first network, we're gonna have normally open, then we're gonna have a coil. So this one, remember we already edited our tags. Just come here, drop down, shall have on, then this one, then this is the lamp, just like that. So we're gonna take that as our simple first project. So we're gonna simulate this and see what happens. So what we are going to do, we are first going to come here and click on compile. We are going to compile our program. Yeah, so now before we go to simulation, members, As you install TIA Portal, you must also not forget to install the S7 PLC simulator. It is called S7 PLC Sim. The same website provides all those ones. So since I have mine installed, that one we use when we don't have the real PLC hardware, so we are going to use simulation. So in our TIA Portal, I'm going to come here, this button, start simulation, and I'm going to click. Just going to say OK. Just going to say OK to initiate our simulation. So it is here. It has started. So we wait the module to load. Yeah, that's the habit of TIA Portal software. It doesn't rush with things. So you just have to be patient and keen. And please, you jump any step, please, you're going to reach any front and you start like, how did you do this? How did this happen? You're getting? So now you're going to come here, load. So here, start module, it means you are going to put our PLC, the simulator, which is this one, into run mode, then click finish. Yeah, so you see our PLC is now in run mode, that one. So we can minimize it. So we are going to come here and say go online. Go online, it means the program is going to run as we monitor what is happening. Once you have these green dots, it means your program is ready to go. Then you are going to have to this monitoring on or off, these glasses. You are going to click there once. So you are going to see our rank has changed. It means power is coming and stopping here. So now what we are going to do, we are going to go to our simulator, click here, switch to project view. Yeah, this now what I'm doing next here and simulation, it is the best way because some other CPUs, I mean some other computers or softwares, you may fail to do simulation from exactly here. But when you do it in the way I'm doing, at least it is better. That one is a must. It has to show you a simulation in the best way ever. So let's see what comes. Yeah, so that is what comes. It's still loading. Now what you are going to do, you are going to come here to new project. Yeah, this mine is project 3 because I've created multiple. Just gonna say create. So some of these steps for the coming series of tutorials, we are going to try to jump demo because now we are coming to know how to go about with them. We are only going to be emphasizing on what you have programmed. These issues of simulation or procedures, what sometimes you are going to jump them. So it's better if you have decided to follow and to know how things are done here in Siemens. Yeah, just try to be patient and be keen and follow every step, so that it can also help you in your future tutorials. Yeah, you don't need to click create again. It is still loading. Once it shows something like this, it is still coming. Okay, so now it is done. So we have here, we're just going to come to simulation table. We have already there one. We double click on simulation table 1. Then after come here and say load project tags. So we have on and the lamp. So here this is the bits where we are going to switch from, and this is, since this is input, it provides room to be switched on, and this is output, it doesn't give room. So I'm gonna minimize this one so that we can see what will be happening this other side. Just gonna minimize some try to create some space here. So remember, this is on, the down one is lamp. So they are here, on, lamp. So what I'm going to do, so it is here, when I click here on, you see, lamp also comes on. Are you seeing? When I click off, it also goes off. So that is simply how we do an on and off in our Siemens TIA portal. Nothing much for today. It was just to see how the software looks like, and only what you have learned is our normally open contact and the quiet contact, and how to do simulation, how to trigger simulation in TIA portal. Let's meet in other now tutorials which really show the real men in Siemens TIA portal. See you when you see me out. This remains BAWASHIR Electric. Thanks for watching.